How'd that happen? One in the world. How'd that happen? One in the world. I am cheese.
Alright, guys. Welcome to a brand new series. The Police Chase series. You guys are probably thinking, what is this series about? Well, this is going to be a long video to introduce you to the rules and the different cars we're going to use. And then we're going to set the stage. The top 5 cars that won in the daily series are going to be the top 5 cars to set the stage for this series. So this is going to be a little bit longer video. Get some popcorn, relax. But here we go. We're going to start off with the police chase part. Look at this beautiful 2010 Camaro SS Police. And look at that. I bought tons of these back in the day. And they were easy to find. And I at least have 3. 2 here. And 1 at my parents' house. Because Sammy has another set of cars over there. And I just thought this was cool. I just kept on running this car everywhere. But this is before I knew what the Circle Flame logo was about. Beautiful police car. This is not the only police car we're going to use. But this is the police car we're going to use today. In the Police Chase series, this is what we're going to use today. Beautiful card. So let's see. Lion's head. Triangle box. So we're okay in this series. It says 2012 Mattel. Look at the car. Boom, look at that. This one's been played with a little bit. The markings are a little bit rubbed off here and there. It's all good. Like a real police car, it's been through its share of chases. Alright, beautiful car. 68, the year Hot Wheels came out. Pretty nice. Speed unit. Well, let's show the cars today. Top 5 cars first. Here's the top 5 cars from the daily series, which will be starring today's video. Boom. Who cannot remember Woodman's famous 69 Corvette from the Hot Wheels Garage series? Beautiful. Won 9 races. Also, who won 9 races was, boom, Richard in his beautiful 17 Civic Type R. Beautiful car. New casting. Now you can find these at Walmart. They're getting a little bit easier to find. I see one. I just want to buy them all, but I don't need that many. I only need this. So it's pretty cool, though. A red one's coming out here soon, which says Type R across it. Cannot wait to get that. So here are the 5th place cars. We're going to skip 4th place because he's a retired driver and we name not his name anymore. So here's 3rd place. Boom. Look at that. 3rd place. The Scottish Bandit returns in his famous black Trans Am Hot Bird. Hot Wheels call it back in the day, back in the 80s, but it's really, we all know it's a Trans Am. And Stu is back in his Hot Bird / Trans Am. So the Scottish Bandit is back today. And he was 3rd. One of my favorite drivers, because she surprised us all. Started late in the daily series. Almost won the whole thing. Christy with 14 wins. Amazing. And an amazing IROC Z. Look at that. Beautiful car. 85 IROC Z. 14 wins. Okay. And then the daily series champion herself with 19 wins. Boom. I wonder who's going to beat that next year. Or can anyone beat that next year? Patty Murray in her Olds Hearst. She won most of her races in her Grand National. Came back the last couple races. Beat Christy. Won the series. Amazing. That is a fast car. This car and this car are from the Target retro line, so older castings, metal bodies. I don't know how they'll do well in this new series. So let's go to the track and I'll show you what it's all about. You're thinking it looks the same, but here's the track. They're gonna go down the ILC track through, just regular more track. There's no finish gate. That means they're gonna race all the way around the track, all the way around to the digital speeder meters, and through this finish line. Where this flag is the finish line. So, the cars, the ILC drivers, you the subscriber, will have the inner lane. You'll have the advantage, but you have to beat the police car. And for your time to qualify, for your time to count on this meter, you must beat the police car to the finish line. If the police car finishes before you, your time does not count. If the police car wrecks you, and that could happen right here, if he does a pit maneuver on you, your time doesn't count. You wreck the police car, I guess you're okay. I don't recommend that at home, but I guess you got off like a bandit there. So you must beat the police car for your time to count over here. And then there's the leaders board. It's all blank. And then your time will go on the leaders board. So the next week or the next day after today, it'll be a daily. We'll just like the daily series. We'll do one car at a time, and you try to get up on the top 10. But you can, if we go through all these drivers, and then it's back your turn, technically, you can be on the leaders board more than once. You could have the Beatles syndrome. You can top the charts more than once. So let's say, for example, Patty could be number 1 in one car, and then she'll come back in a different car in a couple weeks. Let's say she's number 5. She could be number 4, number 3, number 2. Yeah, so you can top the charts more than once in this series. This series will go all up to February, let's say February 14th. This is when this series will end. So this is a new series. Alright, if you don't see your name up here, write down I like cheese if you want to be in this series. If I haven't heard from you in a while, I want to make sure I heard from you to be fair to the other racers. So write down I like cheese if you want to be in this new series. Alright, so here is the test run so you guys can see what's going on. So, and each police car, each day will be a different police car. So today's police car will be this Camaro, 2010 Camaro SS, driven by Sergeant Hooker. We all know Sergeant Hooker. Yeah. And today's test driver for the ILC is Whitney Wagner. My cousin Steven will know who that is. Whitney Wagner. Alright. So here we go. They're going to go down the ILC track. Wendy will have the inner lane. All the ILC drivers will have the advantage on the inner lane. They just have to outrun the police on the outer lane. Well, the police will have the outer lane. You could crash here, so be careful. And there's the finish line. So here we go. Here's a test run to see, so you guys know what this race will look like. On your mark. Get set. Go! Oh! The police finished before Whitney! And the time is 2:52! Maybe next time, Wendy. Maybe next time. This track time here, we call this cheese time because it's supposed to, be in scale with 164 cars. But we know no car goes 252 miles per hour. So we're just saying this is our track cheese time here, since we all like cheese here. Oh yeah, by the way, if your car gets stopped more than 3 times, like let's say if Whitney was right here, you get a little black dot, you get 3 tickets, you're out of the series. So you do not want to get stopped 3 times because your car gets impounded, you get a ticket, and then after so many tickets, you're out of the series until next year to the daily series. I know, suspenseful. Alright, here we go. We got Woodman right here, and Sergeant Hooker right here. And I just want to thank Wendy, good lord, thank you for showing us the rules to the new series. So here we go. Woodman's going to have the inner lane. He's going to have the advantage. He's going to go down the ILC track all the way around to the speeder meters. But he's going to have to beat Sergeant Hooker to the finish line. All right. Here we go. Our first run in the Police Chase series. This is exciting. He has to beat Sergeant Hooker to the finish line, so his time will count. On your mark. Get set. Go! Oh, he made it. Good job. And he made it 3:29. Alright, let's go to the leaderboard. Everybody talking about the leaderboard. So currently Woodman is number 1. And we'll put his time right here. And then, if I remember right, he's on top of the pole. My NASCAR term, so he's the pole sitter. And let's go to the other 5th place from the daily series, which would be Richard. Alright, here's Richard, and here's Sergeant Hooker. They're going to go down the ILC track. Richard will have the advantage in the inner lane. They'll go around the big turn, through the speeder meters, and Richard has to beat Sergeant Hooker through the finish line. Alright, Richard, he has to beat 3:29. That's the time to beat Woodman's time here. Alright, Mark, get set, go! Oh, you wrecked! No, the police car wrecked. So Richard made it with a 3:17. Richard's second place because he got a 3:17 and he wrecked Sergeant Hooker on the track. Sneaky snake driver. We called him in the Baja series. Richard is the Baja champion, matter of fact. But 3:17 in Richard's Honda. Couldn't beat Woodman. So we don't have a 4th place from last year because he's retired. We named not his name. But today, so the next person is Stu Murray. Alright, Officer TJ Hooker. He's okay. He was checked out by the ILC doctors. So he gets into his backup Camaro. And now it is Stu Murray, third place champion of the Daily Series. Stu is also the truck champion of 2017. Amazing. He's going to take his Hotbird or Trans Am down the ILC track. He will have the inner lane, the advantage. He'll go around the turn, through the speedometer. And remember, this is the finish line. Right here where this flag is. Right here, that's the finish line. Richard barely crossed that, but it did count, even though he wrecked Officer Sergeant T.J. Hooker. Alright, time to beat is 3:29 of Woodman's. On your mark. Get set. Go! Oh, and he made it! With a 3:05. Let's go to leaders board. Leaders board. Everybody talk about the leaders board. And third place again. Oh, this car was in third place in the Daily Series. So here we go. What's the odds of that? A 3:05 Trans Am Black Stu Murray. It's exciting. Woodman's on the pole. 3:05 third place. Richard 3:17. All right. Second place of the ILC in the Daily Series is Christie. And once again, Sergeant Hooker from the LAPD. Not being able to stop anybody yet. But they're going to go down the ILC track. All the way around to the turn. Through the ILC speedometers. Through the finish line. Remember, if Sergeant Hooker goes across the finish line before Christie, Christie's car gets impounded. Christie gets a ticket, and she gets 3 tickets during this series. She's out of the series until the 2018, the Daily Series. But I don't think that's going to happen to Christie in that car because she is fast. Time to beat is 3:29. On your mark. Get set. Go! Oh! Christie wrecked Sergeant Hooker. But she did not cross the finish line. So in that ruling, she gets a ticket and her car gets impounded. Okay, Christie gets an X. Each X represents, I was going to put dots, but each X represents a ticket. You get 3 tickets. You're out of the series until 2018. She did run like a 282. It doesn't count. She didn't cross the finish line. And she wrecked Sergeant Hooker. You got to cross the finish line. Sergeant Hooker will get 1 credit for that. And so we'll see these other police officers eventually. We'll see who has the most tickets by February 14th. Alright, LAPD has enough police cars. Sergeant Hooker was checked out by the ILC doctors, he's okay. Remember, this is a close track. I don't recommend running from the police at home. But now we're going to Patty with 19 wins. Let's see how Patty does. Patty will return in that car at the beginning of the daily series in 2018. So they're going to go down the ILC track, all the way through the big turn, through the speedometers, the ILC speedometers, and through the finish line. They have to cross this finish line right here before the police officer. Last race for today. On your mark. Get set. Go! Oh! Patty didn't make it. She did get a 260, but her car is also impounded. Patty gets an X. 3 X's by your name. You're out of there. Sergeant Hooker gets another credit. Alright, here is the leaders board for today. 329 for Woodman. Richard with 317 and Stu with 305. The 2 daily series drivers did not make the chart for the police chase series. They will be back, of course, but the next race won't be as long. We're just going to do 1 car a day, and I think that was pretty exciting. I can't wait to do more of these. I think you guys will like this. But anyway, so 329 for Woodman, 317 for Richard, and 305 for Stu. Sergeant Hooker gets 2 tickets to his name today. And Christy and Patty did not make the chart, but they will be back eventually when the driver's rotation goes through. If you guys want to, one more thing, if you guys want to be in this series, write I like cheese at the bottom. I want to make sure that I got everybody who wants to be in the series. I have a lot of new subscribers, so thank you. So if you want to be in this series, all you got to do is write I like cheese. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.
Well, my poop's a regular and my jeans are too. I walk down the street saying, how do you do? When I wear these jeans, I feel like pooping. Dickies are regular jeans for men. 30 seconds and counting.
29, 28, 27.